All right, here we go. Time to make something. Come on. I'ma make something cool just because I can. Artist for life, that's what I am. Check my technique, that's how I roll. I make the world a little cooler than an hour ago. I'ma make something cool just because I'm free. Artist for life, that's what I be. Dig my style, keep checking my flow. Now your world's a little cooler than an hour ago. Give me paper, pens, musical instruments, a spray paint, and it gets intense. Give me markers, cardboard, microphones. It's not hard for me to get my mind in zone. People used to say that I was so distracted. People used to say I had an overactive imagination. It's so fascinating, creating it lead to procrastination. I fall into a piece of paper, calling out, I'll see you later. Then I rise like an elevator, or the mind of a meditator. My thoughts shine like a lightsaber. Inspiration's an invitation I can't refuse. It's the call I answer to. Plus it's fun if you're asking me.
Hey everybody, welcome into another special edition of Sketchy and Funny. We're into season 2. This is episode 2, and I am kicking off the Halloween season. I suppose it's a little early, but I don't care because it's never too early for me. Halloween season hits like now and goes to, whenever it goes to. So we are kicking it off in spirit, and right next to me is my co-host and the official host of the Lingerie Fighting Championships podcast, Beauty, Strength, and Dominance, Mr. Michael Larkin. How you doing, buddy?
Tommy Bell, I'm like Joe Budden in the early 2000s. I'm about ready to pump it up. When you talk about Halloween, I got my Goosebumps book. Shout out to R.L. Stein. I got all my Halloween Town decom movies. I got the Bride of Frankenstein. I got the whole nine, which how apropos I mentioned that. Tommy Bell, take it away, man.
Well, I did want to take it away, but right before I do that, I'm just going to spend 30 seconds doing something that I should have done at the beginning of the last episode.
Hit me.
I got to go to the bathroom. No, I'm kidding. I don't have to go to the bathroom. Actually, I just wanted to say a big special thanks to you, dude. You've been my buddy for well over 3 years now. We connected so strangely over social media of all things. Only met once, but literally in that time span, you have been a literal partner in crime to what I'm trying to do. Always there. There's so much stuff that we've talked about on and off the air that it's just crazy. And I just, in all sincerity, without getting too cheesy, I just wanted to thank you. You're my buddy, and you're always there. And you've been through most of season 1. And here we are jumping right into season 2 like a couple of lunatics doing the damn thing.
Oh, the feeling is mutual, Mr. Tommy Bell. I appreciate that, man. I wholeheartedly appreciate that. Thank you, man.
I should have started episode 1 that way, but there's no script to this freaking show, so that's the way it goes. Dude, this is so cool because we're reinventing the Bride of Frankenstein because I had to. This is a follow-up to The Mummy. There's no denying that. The Mummy with Hollywood went over amazing last year, and I immediately started spinning my wheels on how to follow it up. And the Bride of Frankenstein came up, and dude, I had one choice. The list was one name of who I wanted as the Bride of Frankenstein. And that was our special guest tonight, LFC legend, and a legend in many, many other ways, Tomiko the Temptress Jima. Hello, and welcome to Sketchy AF.
Hello.
What is up, Tomiko, the Wonder Woman of LFC, rocking the black, red, white, and blue? Hello, how you doing?
Hello.
Or the camo. And I'm telling you guys, I want to tell both of my viewers right now that we're going to be talking a lot of LFC stuff here once I get going to town on this, because I usually have no script, and there's no lie. I actually have a Post-it note on the ground with a few things that I need to bring up because I've got both of you at the same time on the show. And as an LFC fanboy as I am, I got some questions, and it'll be great conversation for when we're getting in and I have to get my pencil sharpened and all that crap. But Tomiko, you were my first and only choice for the Bride of Frankenstein. And I knew I wanted to do some crazy things with it, including inserting myself and Mr. Larkin as little guest character spots on this on this particular drawing. But it's been all about having fun, and one of the things that I asked you, and I think I asked you this in the last drawing and then I never did it, was could I turn your skin green? And I had a good reason for wanting to do that, but I think I wanted to do that on our witch drawing, or I asked you if I could, and you were like, sure, whatever. And I didn't, and I can't remember why, but this one really demanded it. So thank you for letting me turn your skin green on this one, because that's the first thing you'll see when I pull up to the art table here. And Tomiko, I gotta say, you know, our buddy Sean was responsible for talking me into doing this show in the first place. And I know he watches these episodes and probably shakes his head in embarrassment. But there you go, because it's on the VIP section of the LFC website, gang. But so Tomiko, speaking of green, I think one of Sean's concerns is that I don't train wreck myself early enough in an episode. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now, because speaking of green, not only is it Halloween season coming up, but so is football season, right, Tomiko?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so hold on. So I've got something here. Wait, this is not funny. Wait, hold on. I've got something here, and Tomiko, I was holding this out for you. Speaking of green, look at this.
Oh.
But there's a problem. There's a problem. It's got a defect. I don't know if you can see, because I was going to send this to you a while ago, and it's got a defect. But I honestly think before I hop over to the art table, I can fix this up real quick right now, and then I can send it off to you. There we go.
Oh,
Oh.
whoa.
No.
I'll get that sent right off to you, okay? I'm the giving kind of guy, so I just wanted to start the show off by giving some gifts to my special guests. How about that?
There's be fighting words already, man. Jeez, you're Cleveland Browns. Good Lord.
Okay, Sean, I hope you were watching. That was for you, buddy. You son of a... All right, gang, you know what? That's enough foolishness. It's Halloween season. I got Tomiko here. We're not going to waste any time getting into it. Let's pull over to the art table. So here we are at the art table. I have a piece of paper over this because I was working on this today. And of course, I'm giving Tomiko green skin. So I wanted to do the reveal while we're on the show as to where I'm at and what we'll be doing.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
There we go. And just to make an art show out of this, I'm using an array of colored pencils that I've specially selected from Prismacolor to create this greenish, bluish skin tone that is going to work really well against what I'm going to do with her hair. The hair on the Bride of Frankenstein, of course, is down on this one, and that was my choice because it's my goddamn show. But we're going to keep those white streaks in here and on the other side, and then black, so that there is something that is still familiar about the whole thing. I'm going to move my camera up just a hair like so. And I'll tell you what we're getting into. Of course, Tomiko, this is your first time on the show, so welcome to the show. I'm so happy to have you on. It's just mind-bending. But what I do is when I color dark to light. So I have these all spread out. Whether I'm doing skin tone or anything, I get the best blending by doing that way. So what I'm going to be doing tonight is I've finished your neck, and I'm going to be picking out the straps that are going to be white and filling in the flesh tones in between, because there's some areas obviously where I want to show some skin. So I'm going to be hopping in here and just kind of popping in and working in this area first. And then God only knows from there, because we got stuff to do. So Tomiko, I'm going to hop right in here because I want to define some of these straps right off the bat. And the easiest way to do that is just hop in here and get to it. And while I'm doing that, let's open up the round table discussion for something less teachy.
Well,
And the first thing I need to talk about is this, okay? Like, finally have an LFC legend, two LFCA legends actually on the show right now because of Mr. Michael Larkin and his involvement.
of course.
But I got to go to something because there's actually, it all correlates together. Tomiko, you had a great fight against Carmen Valentina. That was one of my all-time favorites. Mr. Michael Larkin was lucky enough to see that one in person, and I'm still jealous of that, but that's great that he got that, because that was such a great fight. And here's one thing I need to talk about right away. Like, so Tomiko, tell me something. Michael's in there and he's doing his thing, and then you guys just go at each other right off the fucking bat with no belt, with poor Michael standing in there, which I gotta say, first of all, that's one of my favorite things is when the fighters take the action so close to the spectators that it's at the spectators. Like, that's my favorite thing ever. So I was a little bit jealous, and poor Michael like sprinted out of there like he had something to do. And I would have hung around, to be honest. But did you were Tomiko, you knew he was in there. Like, did you guys just say screw it and go at it? Like, what?
Yeah,
what happened?
y'all just like bull rushed, like went after each other. I just did my little thing. We did want a good, clean fight, helping the ref out, and then you two just went buck wild, and I had to get my ass on out of there, man. But I gotta say, it was a hell of a way to start the bout, man.
What happened, Tomiko?
I don't know. I was just in the zone, you know.
You were.
But the bell hadn't rung yet.
Yeah, you're already ready, man. Jeez.
I was just excited. I was pumped up. I wasn't even paying attention if the bell went off or not. I just kind of went for it.
Did you care at all that Michael was standing in there?
No.
Oh.
Okay, because I just needed to get, because you know what? I would have loved to be standing where Michael was standing. My God, that was just, I thought that was great.
Didn't think we were going to get the touch gloves on that one.
Well, luckily they did this time. I mean, last time we didn't see that, but we did get to see a smooch.
Oh, and they're going straight to it. You didn't even hear the bell ring.
You got to see the referee step in there and take control in those moments, big dog.
I'm telling you.
But overall, it was a great fight. And it actually boils all back around because, Tomiko, you and I have worked on several different projects together now. And back in the day, Carmen was in a lot of my drawings, and you two could speak from similar experience because she was the very first one to take a special photograph for a drawing that we did together. I think it was called A Little Baddie. She was a vampire, and she took special photographs again and again to get me what I needed. And here you are a couple of years later, very much involved in the weirdness that can be sending a photograph of some kind that, you know, hey, I need you to pose this way or do this or do that.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, it's really great for me that I was, you know, did so many different projects with her. And then now all, you know, here you are, we're working on project number 3 or so. And I just, you know what, for me, getting to work with ladies of your caliber and Carmen's and so many other people, it's an honor. That's the simple way I look at it. It's a huge honor for me.
Well, it's an honor to be asked, you know, it's very cool, you know, because I'm one of the older people on the LFC. So it's like anytime anyone reaches out and does something special like that and asks to do another drawing, I think that's really sweet.
Well, of course, you and I are right around the same. I think we're close to being
Right, close to
yeah,
close in age.
And I don't consider myself older at all. Like, I literally got Count Chocula, Frankenberry, and Booberry because I saw them in the store already. Like,
well, I would not say the older part with Tomiko. The only reason why I say that is because when I met you, Tomiko, and I say this with the utmost sincerity and respect to you, my friend. First of all, badass shape. This one's got the camouflage on, doing her damn thing against Carmen.
Right.
Tina. Like, I'm just saying, man, and we touched upon this before and how you like to dress like your Olivia Newton-John in the physical video, going to the gym and looking all like what you do, Miss Tomiko.
My 80s thing, yeah.
Your 80s vibe, man. The hair, yeah. You pull it off great, and I mean that's as soon as I saw you, I'm like, yep, that's what we're going for. We're going for the badassery, and it was again so great to meet you in person. And as we are here, the 3 of us doing this damn thing tonight. But I gotta say, man, that was really just not only an honor and a privilege to be there, but just to see that up close. And I gotta say, your lingerie is always the it's always the eye popping, but also one of the high points of each and every show because you always go out there with whatever you want, whether it be ninja style, whether it be camo style, or even what we saw recently with Bella Inc. at LFC 38 Angels and Little Devils. I mean, like, you've been hitting it on
right.
Lingerie, man.
I went all out on that one because
Yes,
I was like, you know what? They're making the tape outfits with the same guy that did the tape art on me for that photo shoot I did. So I'm like, if they're going to make us fight and tape and I have no idea how this is going to stay on, I'm going to go all out. So I hired a makeup and hair person, my girl that always does my hair and makeup for various projects. And I said, I want to look like a Street Fighter. So she gave me a mohawk.
Thought that was awesome.
You know, because I figured I'm going to get some good shots, you know, because we got Richard out there taking the pictures. And I'm like, I know I'm going to get some good action shots. So I was like, what the heck? I'm just going to hire her to do my hair and makeup. I just felt like I'm going to be Street Fighter today. So let's go for it.
Well, you were ready to put some Hadouken and some buttocks, man. My goodness gracious. But that's the beautiful part about what we got to see at that event. And I will say this, that poor table, it's always the judges' table, man. Y'all had a great brawl to the outside. That was very memorable. Let's touch upon that. My God, Bella did not play with you in that, Miss Tomiko.
No. Yeah, we actually barely hit the table. We went a little bit of the table onto the ground.
Yep. That's what I'm saying.
I love that.
My breath away.
To be honest. Look at this, they roll outside.
Onto the
and
judges
onto
and
the
then onto the
ground. Oh
floor.
my gosh, onto the concrete. And the action continues there. They are not stopping despite falling outside of the ring. Terry London right there. Leon Hayter right there trying to break up the action. They are not looking to stop.
Damn. All right, I said
We
I
just
don't know.
continued to fight. Like, you know, we were just down there. We just kept punching each other, and they had to actually break us apart. It was pretty funny. We're fighting in mid-fall, continued fighting, broke it up, and
to me,
right
that
back
is
at
gold, though. Like when you think of it from an entertainment aspect, those moments are the moments that I am the most glued to any fight. When I see that stuff happening, going on, I mean, now maybe that's just me and personal preference. And I know that you guys take a beating doing that. Like, I'm not going, yeah, fuck it, whatever. Like, I appreciate the athleticism that goes into pulling all that stuff off and everything. But at the same time, when it happens, I love it. I'm kind of bummed that when I was at that event, when I was at, which one was that? It was LFC 35, and that didn't happen. Everyone was very well behaved. Yeah. And I was right there at the judges' table, and it didn't happen.
No, everybody was very much behaved. No tables, no anything falling over to the outside. Everybody
was nothing
at the Halloween show. But no, what was great about this one too, as well, besides the cosplay type of element that we get to see with each and every one of the ladies. I mean, Bella doing her thing as the Barbie type character that we got, and Tomiko over here doing her Street Fighter deal, man. I gotta say, well, I mean, with what you got, Tomiko, I mean, for God's sake, man, you just celebrated 5 years with LFC, your first event being the first ever booty camp back in LFC 26. I mean, 5 years with LFC doing it head on strong, man, getting it so many great moments. I mean, it's great just to see not only how you've really progressed and also just got up to the forefront, man. It's great just to see you keep on keeping on with this stuff, man.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised I'm still doing it.
No,
I mean, they talked about
it's great because of the fact that not only, like we touched upon, the fact that you're up there with, you know, a lot of the greats that we've seen, but I mean, from memorable debuts with Shelly Aphrodite de Silva to your bout now with Bella Inc., and we mentioned Carmen earlier, the sky is just really the limit when it comes to Tomiko the Temptress Tajima. I mean, there's an outing for you, man. There's something that a lot of people love, that gravitational pull, if you will, Miss Tomiko Temptress Tajima.
I don't know.
I told you, Michael, she's an LFC legend.
LFC legend.
I mean, I actually had people write me saying they like to watch me lose.
Oh, no.
I don't know why, but they love me because I lose a lot. And I'm like, well, that's not, I'm trying to win fights, you know. I'm like, what are you talking about?
They love the underdogs, man. They love the underdogs.
I guess so. Yeah, that's what it is. I guess so.
Perhaps, but I'll speak for myself and say, no, I don't like to see you lose. But I love every time you get in there. You make such an incredible show out of your match that it's great. Your entrances are always outstanding. Like Michael touched on, your lingerie is always spot on, and the fights, fucking right. You know, like so. So I say LFC legend, and it's all over the place. You know this already because you see the posts. I don't have to tell you that.
Well, I can't wait to see what they put me in next. I know they were talking about that tour thing, but I'm pretty booked up this year. I mean, you got to give you some dates, man. You know,
Right.
I'm grabbing all these different gigs and I'm flying all over the place. So if it if I might, I'm not going to be able to be a part of the driving for a whole month, but I may be able to sneak in and fly in for a fight here or there. Hopefully, if
Well,
this goes down, you know.
well, that's what you
Hear
call
that, Sean?
yeah, that's what you call a hot commodity right there. You're constantly booked up. Why not? That's the definition right there of hot commodity, and the grind never stopping. And I mean, much like Tommy said, to go back into his point, it's like you and Bella Inc. Like y'all debuted at the same event, LFC 26 Booty Camp, and the fact that we finally got about. I know Tommy was very jazzed, much like myself and a lot of the LFC enthusiasts. Just got to see you two really scrap, if you will, to put in the bluntest of terms. You scrapped and did the
Oh
damn
yeah.
thing. And so, I mean, that's really what it is. And like you mentioned, bookings, which I hope to see you, which I know we probably will see you at a future show, man. It's just, it's enticing. It really is great just to see hardworking people like yourself just always do your thing, Tomiko. It's really nothing but love and admiration.
Yes.
Yeah, we appreciate that. I'm actually going to be off the grid pretty soon. Next week, I'm going to Burning Man.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right now.
Well, now.
Hey, I like it. I gotta say, you're constantly traveling though. I gotta give this one over here. What is it, like Bahamas, Jamaica, Burning Man, Green Bay Packers games? You're constantly like the travel. The grind never stops on the traveling as well, man.
Yeah, no, I just came back from Florida. I was there for FetCon and I was there for a whole week. You know, got grounded the first day in Denver because of the hurricane, but I made it.
Well, that's all.
Didn't
Yeah, I
have any
saw that.
clothes. I was making a trip out to Walmart to buy clothes, and everything was triple XL. No clothes. It was ugly. So I was like, well, I can't buy any of this. So I was buying toiletries and I bought like a workout outfit so I could work out at the gym at the hotel. And I ended up having to wash my clothes in the sink
Oh my
I saw that on social.
and blow dry it. Blow dry it dry so I could wear it the next day for the airport.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And I think what's great about it too is to add on to your point as well, like the FetCon. Like FetCon is always such a fun time just to see people of different like facets of life, not only their uniqueness and preferences really being heightened, but man, that's gotta be awesome. Just not only the fact that you had to get the FetCon in there, man. That's always such a great experience, right?
Oh yeah, I've been every year. I mean, I've been since it was called something else before that. I've been going for over 20 years. I'm like what they call an OG, like original girl. I've been around for a long time and
What
I
they
still get
call an
bookings.
OG.
They call me the OG over there, and there's not a lot of us left.
I need to
And
get my ass there sometime.
it's fun. I mean, I couldn't even enjoy the actual trade show part because I was working so much. I got booked. I mean, ridiculous so much.
That's a good thing.
That is a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm no complaints. And I just recently got a booking to go to Sydney, Australia in January. Someone's flying me there for work.
Hell yeah.
Crazy.
Whoa.
that month, I'm like, yeah,
Damn, look at you go.
I know. And then I'm doing a cruise in April for another event thing out of Miami. So that's happening in April, like a 5-night cruise. I mean, it's insane. I mean, I'm telling you, I don't even know what is going on.
That's awesome.
No, I mean, like, first of all, who doesn't love a good 5-day cruise? And first of all, Miami, to be exact, with everything that goes on with there. And I mean, no, we gotta give it credit here because again, cruises and Sydney, Australia, good night, mate, with some kangaroo jack, like, come on
Yeah.
now, man, international Miami, I love it. That's what you need to do. I think that's what we need to do as people, not only be positively proactive, but also at the same time, man, you gotta travel, you gotta expand the horizon, so to speak, in any different facet of life, you know?
Yeah, and I got St. Lucia that year, and I've got Grenada as well. So I've got a couple other trips set up that year.
Are you
But those
going,
are my vacations.
are you gonna go down to Kokomo next? Like, are we gonna name everything off like the Beach Boys song? Is that what we're doing here? Like, that's,
Who knows where I never know where I'm going to be going. It's always a surprise.
that's what it's about, though.
That's so
That's
cool.
what life is, man.
Yeah, it's an adventure. You got to ride it.
Yeah, I'm enjoying my life, whether I'm fighting or, it's nice when you have a lot of eggs and a lot of baskets. I mean, you get hired for so many different things. It just keeps you moving.
It's the spontaneity, it's the variety, it's just everything. Like it's very multifaceted. I've always said this about you, Tomiko. You're very multifaceted, and you talk about dipping your eggs in different baskets. That's what you need to do, man. Be very multifaceted and showcase your skills, showcase the internal and external beauty, as well as showcasing your strengths and just letting everything work itself out. That's how you have to look at it.
Yeah, I have no complaints. I honestly, if you would have asked me this way back in my earlier years when I was starting my career, I would have thought I would have been like not even doing this at all at this point. I would thought that the well would have dried up. You know? I just keep going every year. I'm like, you know what? As long as people are hiring me, I'm just going to keep going. I don't know how old I'm going to be by the time it dries up, but I'm just going to keep going. Just keep
That's what
on
you got to
trucking.
do.
Even with
That's what you got to
LFC,
do.
Exactly.
if they keep hiring me and I get older and older, I'll still be out there. Even if I've got like a little walker, getting them in the ring.
Well, I mean, let's give a shout out to our boy T-Bell over here, because Tom, you got those Six Flags vibes about you. We've touched upon this many a times, man. All we need is the Venga Boys and the Venga Bus in the background, man. You are the spokesperson for the next Six Flags commercial with your old man sweaters, Tommy Bell. I'm looking at you, sir. What up?
They are so goddamn comfortable, dude. And you know what? The fedoras and those old man sweaters, and I've been practicing the get the hell off my lawn routine.
Really?
I am oh, please. I've got little kids in the neighborhood. I yell all the time. They're not on my lawn, which is the worst part. They're actually in their own yard, which is like a quarter mile down the road. And I'll just look at them and wave and they go, get the hell off my lawn. And they laugh, but I'm practicing and they understand that. So it's okay. I'm ready. I'm ready for old manhood. I'm there anyway. So, I embrace it because there's enough little kid in me where it doesn't matter. And like there's that whole stigma about, well, the older they get, eventually they start acting like a kid. And I'm like, there's my one in. That's my excuse. I'm just getting old. Fuck you. So that's it, Michael. Yeah, I've been working really hard at that.
Yeah, but no, that's a plus, man. I think getting older, not only getting older, but wiser. And also, we do have that fountain of youth about us, man, like into our own little perspectives and everything, how we really, their trajectory of where we go on our path. So I think that's kind of cool. Again, not only we talked about learning new things and Tommy getting stubborn and telling kids to get off his lawn, and Tommy going all over the world, all around the world, to quote Daft Punk and Red Hot Chili Peppers, respectively. That's what you really need to do in so many different ways. And I really do love it. It brings a smile on my face every time.
Well, it's so good to see, and it's so great, just I'll tell you what, I'm going to deviate for just a second because it's so great to have so many special guests on this show that are killing it in so many different ways, so many different arenas, these amazing people that I've worked with on doing my stuff, so that when they're out promoting, if they're working with me, they're getting an extra special promotion that they don't really have to do an awful lot for unless they have to take strange photos. Which is always, that's what I'm in this for, promoting the people who are out there killing it and showcasing them in a way that's otherwise not normal. Like, I don't know if I hadn't come along, if somebody else would be doing this kind of thing by now or not. But I'm happy to fill or create a little niche or something. And this is such a fun, just got to say, this is such a fun picture to work on. And as I was doing this and you guys were talking, I was thinking, I was like, Tomiko, you've been in 3 drawings of mine now. And we already know there's future stuff. I don't want to leak too much, but I'll never forget that first drawing. Because you really had such a positive reaction to that. I was like, wow, I'm really, really happy I did it. I'll never forget how long it took for me to do it, to get to you.
But you know what? When I got it, it's hanging up on my wall. I framed it and everything.
That makes me so proud. I mean, I don't know if you could top having, as an artist, I don't know if you can get a better grade from somebody and their actions than when they literally have it hanging in their house. It's like, oh, damn, that's so fucking great, and the fact that it's there, and when you want to, you can look over at it. And that's still one of my favorite. Everything about that first piece came together like butter. It was almost effortless. And I remember sitting back a few times and going, is it egotistical if I think this is turning out really fucking cool? But it just felt, that first one, that's going to make a great t-shirt someday. That's all I got to say.
I really love that picture. I mean, it's hanging in my office so I could see it all the time. It's my accomplishment office where I hang stuff from films I've done and all kinds of things, medals I won or whatever. It's like my when you're having a down day and you just have to look around the office and it has some of the achievements, and so it's up in that, it's up there, which is pretty
That
cool.
just puts a huge smile on my face, and then you kind of went from that into, I think it was the year after that or something like that. All of a sudden it was Halloween. I had this idea and I'm like, Tomiko seems like a good sport. I wonder if she's going to tolerate me asking for these really weird pictures where she has no idea what I'm trying to do. But I have it in my head, and like, if I can just get these pictures with your arms that were like outstretched, but you got it right away. And I was like, oh, okay. And then when you sent the photos, they were perfect. And I had a lot of fun with that one. But I got to be honest, this one is way more fun already.
Yeah, I'm really liking this one. It's really cool. I can't wait to see what it's going to look like at the very end.
And that's something I was talking to Michael about. This is the only frustrating part about what I do, is the first thing that I imagine is the finished drawing. And nobody else can see it until I get everybody to take goofy photos. Michael, I need a photo of you. You're going to be my hunchback. He's like,
I'm gonna be the yes, master. I'm gonna do my hunchback.
But then when it's all done, hopefully everybody, hopefully I've done a good enough job of showing what I had in that flash moment of, oh, that would be really fucking cool. But that's where the pressure's on me to try and do the best I can to show, okay, and then after all the waiting and the drawing shows and everything, that's when the big reveal is. And I'm going, okay, this is what I originally had in my head when I was trying to talk you into this.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. Plus, I'm a big fan of Halloween too, so it's like, of course that's my favorite holiday.
That's what also made it perfect. Like I said, the list was one name. That's how short it was, and it was your name on there. I hadn't even imagined anybody else imagine this. I knew I wanted to do the Bride of Frankenstein because it was the next obvious thing after doing a sexy mummy. Like, if I want to do classic monsters, there's one that's right out there in the open. And then I just thought, that needs to be Tomiko. Like, these are basically my movie posters, like if Tommy Bell was a movie maker, this is what that movie would look like, co-starring me and Mr. Larkin.
I think
you can almost imagine how that movie would be.
Yeah, but no, it's so funny, and I gotta add on to your point, man, because to look at this smiling dynamo over here and maybe Miss Tomiko the Temptress Tajima over here, I think what Tommy does, again with the pride, because I keep the photo that you did of me from LFC 36, it's on my wall hanging as well. I think being a part of this is also not only is a pleasure to be in the fact that I got to play the hunchback and also to be featured with this woman over here. But it's one of those things too, man, to add on to her point. Like I mentioned earlier at the start of this show, you look at R.L. Stine and the Goosebumps books. Dare I say, as a kid in the 90s, the Are You Afraid of the Darks on Nickelodeon. Like you look at, like we touched upon the Frankenstein movies, The Bride of Frankenstein, Young Frankenstein with Gene Wilder. We're talking about movies from like the Nightmare on Elm Streets, from the Halloweens, the Friday the 13th. There is something about Halloween, not only does it brings everybody together, but trick-or-treating, wearing the costumes, really showcasing and exuding and accentuating that imagination, if you will. It brings a lot of the best out of us, man. And also it's creativity. Who doesn't like to get the creative juices flowing, man?
Yeah, you should see my Halloween.
Oh, I can only imagine. I'm very laid back actually with my decorations. And it's not that I don't. Of course I want more. I'm American. But I don't have an awful lot of stuff. I have more indoor stuff, which is my problem. And up here in Ohio, it's already really getting crappy out. and I'm sorry, but they absolutely do not make really cool Halloween decorations that you can leave outside in a rainstorm.
Oh, okay. Well,
They don't.
it's like scary inside my house, in the backyard, and in the front yard, to where parents are even afraid to walk up with trick or treaters.
Oh my God.
I've actually pulled some pretty good pranks before, where I had like a rope attached to the door so it opens on its own, and I had the black light going and everything, and I was like dead. The kids are laughing at
That's so awesome.
it. So morbid. It scared the crap out of the parents, and everything. Was pretty funny.
That sounds like an Instagram live right there.
Oh, it was hilarious. I mean, and then I have a Halloween party. I'm gonna do it this time. I'm gonna do it November 1st, the day after Halloween.
Okay.
On Friday, I'm gonna do a Halloween party this time. This way, I don't have people competing with parties, and they have to come
Right.
on.
Just let Michael and I know what time so that.
Yeah, you guys can totally come if you want. Yeah.
Hey now. No, but I think that's great. Like you see so many Halloween parties with the cauldrons and the candies and the scarecrows and the skulls and everything. I think what's great about it too as well is like we mentioned so many things in popular culture and literature there, but I mean you look at horror comedies like The Lost Boys, like people talk about Twilight now. Where I'm all about Lost Boys, Jason Patric, Kiefer Sutherland, the horror comedies, and Corey Haim, Corey Feldman. But there's so many things that really are that also, like she mentioned as well, Tomiko, the whole decorations and everything that comes. Like I remember as a kid, like, I was a Batman and Superman one year, and then you have the pumpkins all around and pumpkins galore. I wasn't pretending like I was dead, but that was actually great. Now that put a smile on my face. To be in the original pranksters, like you talk about being the OG, I'm gonna put you as the OP, original pranksters.
Oh man, I am so terrible. Yeah, I am so bad. I've done like different things. I dressed up like a gorilla, and I came running out at him one time. You should see the costumes I have. I mean, yeah, I do morbid stuff too. And it's funny, I have a picture with a friend of mine that I grew up with in elementary school as my next door neighbor. And she was always something cute. Like she was like this money bag. And then I was like this witch with like a note. My mom made this like nose that came out like this. And, it was always something really hideous. And then later on, like later in life, because we're still friends and she lives here in Vegas, we go out and she's something cute like a clown, and I'm like what did I dress up as, an accident victim or something? Like glass pieces in me and everything, and
going all gore out.
Yeah, although now I'm
awesome. You know what, on this topic, I mean, and this is again completely unplanned, and I may be saying something that I shouldn't here, but I'm just going to go here. Like, anybody in this room right now have like that Halloween bad costume story that they like refuse to tell people who, unless they were there? And like, anybody have that other than me, or is it just like a me thing?
I remember when I was a kid, I was mostly, like I mentioned, Batman and Superman. I was a clown one year when I was like 4 or 5, like a little clown. My mom put the makeup on me and whatnot. But other than that, no, it's been pretty chill, just trick-or-treating or just going around. I was mostly like the superheroes just because, I don't know, I think just as a kid, like I loved the Batman Beyond cartoons that was on the WB and the Batman movies, and same with the Superman. But yeah, that was my thing, just looking at superheroes and being the larger-than-life characters. And plus, clowns. Who doesn't love clowns? Unless you're It, like Stephen King's It. Both the original and the remake, so to speak. But no, I never had really any embarrassing ones.
Tomiko, without saying it, without actually saying the story, do you have a bad costume story?
No, but I have bad.
I don't have a
bad story. If I got kicked out of a Halloween thing once.
You got kicked out of a what?
You got kicked out of
it? The fetish and fantasy ball here, the big Halloween thing that we had here, was a fetish and fantasy ball, and I got kicked out because I was laying on the ground.
Way to go.
Ma'am, you can't lay on the ground like this. You need to go. And I'm like, oh, okay.
All right.
Oh, okay. You didn't even try to fight it or anything. You're like, I'll get up.
No, I clearly had, way too much fun, and I had to go.
Oh, that's fair.
The first time I've ever been 86ed out of anything. But of all things, the fetish and fantasy ball, I get 86ed out of that. I couldn't believe it.
just laying on the
Wow.
just laying
laying
on
on the ground.
yeah.
Yeah.
Asking like, hey, I'm just gonna play one big game of Operation Boom. No, I mean it is what it
Oh,
is.
that would be a good costume, wouldn't
Right?
it? Oh my God, that would be the best.
Oh, one big old game of Operation. Yes.
Oh, I love that game.
Oh,
Yeah, and somehow that just sounds like a bad costume too. You know what? I'm gonna have to do this because my lead-in, even though nobody else can be like, "Oh yeah," blah, blah, my lead-in was so lengthy that I think I have to give my bad costume story right now. So
okay.
here goes, everybody. So, and Tomiko, you're going to be able to relate to this because again, we had to have been kids around the same time, give or take. But so it's the 70s. I'm like 8 years old. And Star Wars had come out. The Star Wars, the first fucking Star Wars had come out. So at 8 years old, I gotta be, of all things, not one of the costumes that they actually manufactured in the store. No, we can't have that. I had to be R2D2.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, no, not sweet. So let me embellish. So because there is no fucking manufactured costume in 1977 or whenever the hell this nightmarish thing happened, and I wouldn't let it go. Like, you think I'm persistent today? Imagine me as a little kid. It was bad. So somehow my parents, God love them, they there were a couple of teenage girls down the street that used to babysit us, and they were artists in their own right or in their own way, crafty or whatever. And they told my parents, we can do this, we're going to make them a costume. And my parents in turn told me they were going to make me a costume. So all month long I planned no backup, no nothing, I'm going as R2 fucking D2. Well, they dropped the costume off Halloween night about an hour before trick-or-treating starts, and I'm sweating like a bull in heat waiting for this thing to show up. And of course it does. And what it is, it's a cardboard tube with armholes cut out that I now slide myself into, along with some form of a tinfoil dome hat cone thing. I'm really lucky there's no pictures. But not only did it not look like anything anyone's ever seen other than perhaps a cardboard trash can, that now I got to go asking for candy from because apparently my parents are too poor to afford me a costume from Ben Cooper. So not only is it that bad, but it started to rain. And then on top of that,
Oh no.
because I was so short, I mean, I'm a short guy now. Like when I met Jolene Hex for the first time, she's like, "Oh my God, I always pictured you taller." I'm like, thank you. Not only am I short now, but I was even shorter then. So the bottom of this tube, like I couldn't go up any stairs because my knees would hit inside the tube and I would get like stuck. So I had to wait out on the sidewalk while my sister and younger brother went up and got candy for me while I stayed trapped in this cardboard thing.
Oh my gosh.
Folks, this is me. I mean, apparently I need therapy, but so I'm getting it right now.
Oh no.
Oh yes. Oh yes. 1977, screaming like a demon.
No, it's interesting. Like you bring that up. Like I'm trying to think. Like we touch upon like embarrassing costumes and stories. Like I think something I remember like as a kid, probably at like preteen. I think I remember like because again, growing up in the '90s and the 2000s, it was a lot. This was more of like the TPing age and putting shaving cream on cars. Which all right, but yeah, I can say thankfully, like when I was a kid, I don't think we ever got TP, but I think my mother's car or my grandfather's car, God rest his soul, at the time, got like a little shaving cream on it. And I'm like, all right, because I just remember like after Halloween, like my dad helping my grandpa, helping my mom clean off the car because yeah, we got shaving cream. Thankfully not TV'd, but we got shaving cream. That was the time period. But yeah, no. I think just because growing up where I grew up on Long Island, it was more suburbs and everybody was kind of like quiet and quaint. So I was very lucky, but also at the same time, yeah, nobody's lying on the floor and like a game operation, nobody's getting trapped up in their costumes. So I could say, but it was fun. I will say this, a lot of the families just go around. I always appreciate that. I love that just because it brings up the next generation of kids. They get into the Halloween spirit. And plus, like we mentioned, the movies and stuff, but I was always a nerd in that way. Like you mentioned with your Star Wars and RDD2.
worst Halloween of my whole fucking life, but it didn't ruin Halloween for me. It left it. I guess that's those character building moments that you go through in life. And obviously if that happened when I was 7 and now I'm 23. So, I mean, it's obviously left a mark. It's okay though. My costumes are way cooler now, cooler than any other kid on the block.
Absolutely. But no, and Tomiko, I gotta say this to you. Besides laying on the floor, like we mentioned, but I think stories like that. I'm not gonna get over it. But stories.
You can't get. You have to go over.
Can't get
it
out of my head.
the floor.
It's so funny. It's so cool. But no, it's one of those things like where you at, like when you were talking about like witches and everything and just dressing out the norm. I think not only is that cool because again, you could have your superheroes, you could have your vampires, you could have what have you. But if you're like looking like, I'll give people an image like with SpongeBob SquarePants when the guy's at the door and they're trying to sell him chocolates and he's in the freaking body cast and acting like he's like all hurt. And I used to love having chocolate when I was a kid and now I'm all hurt and then they just give it to him for free and he's faking the fact that he's actually dead just so he can get some chocolate. Like that's literally like the sick type of humor and twisted stuff, just faking the body cast and then coming out just to get some chocolate, man. That's what I'm saying, Tomik. All you gotta do is fake it just to get some treats and whatnot. Hey now, put yourself in a body cast. Hello.
Yeah, that would have been much easier.
Oh my. Well, you know what, Halloween, whether you have a good costume or a bad costume, or you're at an LFC event, Mr. Larkin, always a good time. And I think that's why I've dedicated so much time into doing Halloween stuff for like a good long time in my art portfolio right now. It's time. It's football season. Also, can't let that slide. It is football season coming up.
Can't wait.
I haven't even checked my team's schedule because I'm sure it's the Boy Scout Troop 453 from Chatham, Ohio, and then the Ringling Brothers Midgets. And after that, it's going to be, no, I don't know. But I'm sure we're set up to fail again. And if anybody knows what team I support, they know what I'm saying.
Well, the Lions, I mean, they had a chance. I was actually rooting for the Lions to make it. And then I don't know what happened. Since Packers weren't going to be there, I thought, well, let me root for someone who's in my division. And I really thought they looked great. And then I thought, okay, they're going to make it.
Yeah.
Nope.
I'm on the two side of things. So I'm from New York, Jets, Jets, Jets. I know.
Oh, come on, Michael.
Oh, yeah, but you got my Aaron Rodgers on your team.
Yeah, man. I know. That's why I'm bringing that up. But yes.
You got Aaron Rodgers.
You know what I did? Because I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan, I actually have a Jets jersey with his number 8.
All respect.
I was actually going to plan on going to the game last year, and then he got injured.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
I'm thinking about it. I was actually contemplating maybe possibly going to a game.
Yeah, I mean, with here, like the Panthers are like the big thing here. Cam Newton, everything. Just it's like life down here because I have family down here that go to like all the Panthers games. I mean, it's such a passionate and great sport. Whether you're like again New York Giants, Jets, Panthers, you Browns, you Packers over here with your cheesehead loving self.
I heard the way you said Browns.
The Browns. I'm just saying, man. I
heard the way you said it. You
Browns,
son of a bitch.
Browns over here. But no, I think that's
Jets, Packers, bunch of pansies.
Hey man, Brett Favre. You can say what you will, but Brett Favre was a legend on the Packers. We'll still say
Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, and now we've got Love.
Yeah, we've got
Love, man.
We'll see you at the Super Bowl is all I'm saying.
Yep.
Yeah. This is our year. Damn it. We might even be getting a dome stadium in some suburb that nobody's ever heard of. So how about that? What you got now?
You got
nothing. You got nothing.
Right.
Oh, you guys are so.
And I'll be posting pictures of it too at the game.
I will say this, folks. If you've not checked out Tomiko on social media, we'll promote it at the end, but this is why I love this woman's social media. Besides the fact that you get to see her at so many badass events, much like the LFC, much like the FetCon, this one over here, screaming her heart out, looking that smile on her face as only she can see here. screaming for the Packers, man. That's all I'm saying. If it's not what you do and how you apply the craft, Tomiko, the Temptress Tajima, it's the fact that you're screaming and you're shouting and you're yelling for you some Packers, man. You cheesehead son of a gun. That's all I'm saying. That's what I love about the socials, Tomiko.
Yeah, I'm a diehard. Everyone that knows me knows, they know.
That's why I got a special cup for you.
Yeah, see, I'm excited.
Well, gang, we are just about out of time for this episode. And as you can see, the whole time we've been gabbing, I have been selecting different random areas to let some skin show through, using all my different greens and stuff. And of course, there's going to be so much more to come on this drawing, which when it's finished, God, I can't wait for it to be finished so I can show you guys what was in my head when I thought of this idea. Tomiko, you were the perfect choice for this. And you'll see why I would apologize for the green skin, but I can't. And there's so many good reasons for you having green skin in this. And some of that will be divulged later, especially when I get it all finished. But
I like that it's green and gold, though. I like that. You got gold at me.
And this is going to, because this sky, other than the lightning bolt here, the sky is going to be very dark. And that's really going to make even this weird pastel greenish color, whatever this is here, it's really going to make that pop too. Like this whole thing is designed to electrify, and it's supposed to be a lot of fun, just like the old iconic movie posters back then. This is the brand new Tommy Bell version of what this movie would be like. I would walk into the theater and see this. Of course, I'm in the picture, but I would still walk into the theater and see this. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to pull away from the art table and wrap this up, because that's all I'm going to do on this one for this episode, or I might screw something up. All right, everybody. I think that's just going to about do it for episode 2, season 2, Sketchy and Funny. Michael, thank you for being my co-host. Again, as I brought up at the beginning of this show, I don't think I could do the show without you. Otherwise, it's just me going, bad.
Oh, the feeling is mutual. And I mean, I got 3 of my peeps here, folks. And as you can see without each and every one of these shows, for those who checked out season 1, who are now on to season 2, which you should be, ooh, ooh, ooh. Yes, I rhyme season 2, ooh, ooh, ooh. You hear me crying like Michael Jackson, Paul McCartney.
I'm crying, all right.
Oh my goodness. But no, this is what it is. It's just 3 friends shooting the breeze, having some fun, and showcasing some badass drawings. And I, for one, am happy to be in another one of your pieces here, Mr. Tommy Bell.
Well, it's a pleasure throwing you in there, Michael. And Tomiko, it's been an absolute honor. I mean, I don't know if I could capitalize that enough without shouting it, to have you as a guest on and to be working with you again on another really crazy cool piece. Every project that we do, I just absolutely love. They always have a special place. And so I really want to thank you for taking some time out to be on the show.
Oh, thanks for having me. I enjoyed myself. It's always fun. I finally get to meet you, virtually through this. And then, of course, my main guy here, we shoot the breeze all the time.
Of course.
Now, before we close this out, we got to let everybody know, like we mentioned here, this one over here is hooting and hollering for the Green Bay Packers. She's showcasing some of her fetish material. She's showcasing some of her LFC vibes. She's looking like Olivia Newton-John in the gym. She's rocking the Wonder Woman vibes over here. Move out the way, Linda Carter. Where can we follow you on the social media fronts, man?
My Facebook is Tomiko Perry. My Instagram is Tomiko1, Tomiko1. If you want to see the naughty stuff, go to my Twitter, Tomiko_1. There's some normal, but there's kind of naughty stuff on there too.
So much fun.
And then I have a loyal fan. Well, yeah, speaking of naughty, and then some loyal fans. Sometimes not so naughty, but they could check that out.
And I just want to interject in there, gang. Anybody, you definitely don't want to miss. Check out every spectrum of this lady's content. She is so creative that she's an artist in her own right with what she does, which is taking somebody in this arena, taking everything that she does to that next level. As an artist, I appreciate it, and I recognized it right away, which is why I always love working with Tomiko. You guys don't want to miss anything that she's doing. You guys also don't want to miss anything that the LFC is doing. So go to lfcfights.com. The VIP section has Michael Larkin's Beauty, Strength, and Dominance podcast. Tomiko is going to be on there pretty soon again here. And Michael's always killing it on the podcast. Tomiko is all over the LFC website. You can't see something without seeing that superstar in there killing it. And I'm lucky enough that they have my little Sketchy AF show on there in the VIP section. So don't miss. And I think somewhere behind me is my LFC autograph wall of fame, which has many autographs on it. So happy to see that. But yeah, it's been a great show, everybody. Thank you so much for hopping over to the art table and watching me scribble away for a little bit. It's been a blast. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. We're out until next time.
Thank you for listening to another edition of Tommy Bell Art Sketchy and Funny. Follow Tommy Bell on all forms of social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Tommy Bell Art. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at Tommy Bell Art. Tommy Bell Art Sketchy and Funny is now on Spotify and on the official VIP section of the Lingerie Fighting Championships website. Follow our guest Tomiko the Temptress Tajima on Twitter at Tomiko_1 and on Instagram at Tomiko1. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.